DTM Sourav, the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, for a wonderful introduction. Part of that is part of my standard introduction, but I appreciate the part that you added. Before I get started with the meeting theme, let me do something very important, which we have not done yet. We have got our area director, who is also a member of the Gabbys Toastmasters Club. So this being the home club of the area director and the home club of the division director. And our area director, today we are also doing formally an area director visit. So let me welcome our area director, area B1, District 92, Toastmaster Paduka Kandan. As per Toastmaster guidelines, we don't acknowledge the presence of our home club area, district officers, because then every meeting will have to do this, which will become more of a ritual, right? So that's why we don't do that. But today is a very special day because our AD is on an official area director visit. So everyone, please be on your guard. So AD is watching, marking, taking notes, and will be submitting it to the district officers. Well. Why the theme MISHTI DOI? So let me start with that first, and then I will probably talk. So we'll do it in 3 parts, okay? So I don't want to do all the talking. So in the first part, I'll tell why the theme MISHTI DOI. The second part, I'll tell you about MISHTI DOI. And the third part, I would want to hear your experiences with MISHTI DOI or something very similar. What do I mean by very similar? I'll explain in the second part. So let the first part be about why MISHTI DOI as a theme. So people who know me or know me well enough, they would know that, my term as a district officer has been bittersweet, to be very honest, to put very candidly. On one hand, I had some very sweet experiences, some very enriching experiences of being a district officer. On the other hand, as Dhwani mentioned, I am not really the sweetest of the person. So obviously what happens is I ask straight questions with a straight face. And that doesn't make me a lot of friends, right? So there had been ups and downs in terms of relationships with the district officers in District 92 during my 2 years as a district officer, first as an area director and then as a division director. And then came the division contest. And the participation at the area contest was not that great. And I had a feeling that maybe, it is that people are not so fond of me that they're keeping away from the contest. And that's something that I didn't want. And I really wanted everyone who makes an effort to come to Bangalore International Center and join the contest as a guest, particularly the district officers. I wanted to have them, kind of have a very sweet taste in their mouth when they're leaving. So this is an item which I added in the menu. And I had to actually look for a lot of MISHTI DOI in Bangalore. Now I stay in Bangalore. And MISHTI DOI is not a local dish, right? So it's not so easy to find MISHTI DOI in Bangalore. The closest that you can get something that's really good is something which Mother Dairy produces, the MISHTI DOI variant of Mother Dairy. And I had to literally visit all the shops in Bangalore, where I stay in Kagdaspura. I had to visit all the shops, and I'm not exaggerating. If DTM Nagesh would have been there, he would have confirmed because I have the bills of it. I had actually submitted 10 to 12 bills to him because from every shop I had to take 4, 5, 6 like this, right? And I had to literally go around. You guys have done, bar hopping and whatnot. I did actually shop hopping to buy the MISHTI DOIs. And that's how I found it. So basically MISHTI DOI was my way of doing diplomacy, kind of extending that olive branch and make people feel included, make people feel welcome. And you know what? Some of the people who I know and they know that we don't have a lot of, the only thing we have in common is that we don't like each other. Such people also came up to me and said, thank you so much. Thank you so much. This was so wonderful. The only regret I heard from anyone is saying that I did not have a MISHTI DOI, right? You should have got enough more. You should have got more, right? So how do I tell them that that Kagdaspura did not have more, right? So I ran out of stock. Anyways, with this, let me move on to explaining what the 3 sections of the meeting is. So the first section is where we will have the prepared speeches. We have got 3 prepared speakers today, and they will bring 3 different flavors into our meeting today with the 3 different kind of speeches, 3 different projects from 3 different paths. The second is the table topic section. The table topic section is where you learn how to speak impromptu. This is a section where the guests can also participate if invited by the table topic master. Now, what is a table topic? It's basically impromptu speaking. More details will be shared by the TTM, but just so that you're intrigued enough to stay back till at least the table topic happens, let me give you a little bit of a snippet about table topics. So table topics or impromptu speaking is what I consider as a life skill. It's very important for you to know how to, cook up something at the last minute, because probably you're late from a party, probably you are, late to work, and you need to cook up an excuse just at the right time. It sounds, something that the person opposite to you would be believing in. And finally, we have the evaluation section. Now, evaluation is at the heart of any Toastmaster meeting, right? So it's very important for us to take the evaluation seriously. And that's why we have a team which will be working to help us get the most effective evaluations. And to lead this team, we have someone we call a general evaluator. This person does an evaluation of the entire meeting, but I will not steal the thunder and saying exactly what this person will be doing. For that, I will be inviting this person herself. So our general evaluator for today is Toastmaster Sahana Nagaraja. She's the VP Education of Converse Toastmasters Club, Qualcomm's corporate club, and she's the area director of Area D1 District 92. She works as a firmware engineer at Qualcomm. In her free time, she loves reading books and traveling. Thank you, Toastmaster Sahana, for taking up the role of the general evaluator. Over to you to explain your role. I'll also introduce us to a Taggle team. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Sahana.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, DTM Sourav. It's truly an honor to be in such an amazing meeting with all the veteran Toastmasters around me. So good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am the general evaluator for today's meeting, but for the benefit of the guests, I'm someone who will evaluate every part of the meeting, and I have a Taggle team who's going to help me with this task. So let's start with introduction of this team. I would like to welcome the timer for today, who's the VPM of Gabbys Toastmaster Club and the area director of Area 31D, District 117. She's a double Triple Crown winner and on a journey to complete her second path. She's a personality development coach by profession, an artist at heart, and a menstruator education by choice. Let's welcome Toastmaster Dhwani to introduce herself and her role.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator, and hello everybody once again. I'll be your timer for today, and as the timer, I will be making sure that the meeting goes well within time. And with that, let me demonstrate for the prepared speech section. The prepared speeches is for 5 to 7 minutes, and hence I will be changing my virtual background. At 5 minutes, I will show the yellow card. At 6 minutes, I will show the green card, and at 7 minutes, I'll show the red card for all the speakers. And 30 seconds of grace time will be given to each and every speaker. Now, coming to the evaluations, the evaluators will have the time of 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll be showing the yellow card. At 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I'll be showing the green card. 3 minutes, red card. Again, 30 seconds of grace time will be given. Coming to the table topic speakers, the table topic section comprises of 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will show the yellow card. At 1 minute, 30 seconds, I'll show the green card. And at 2 minutes, I'll be showing the red card. Again, having the grace time of 30 seconds to all the speakers. With that, always remember that time and tide waits for none. Hence, let's be cognizant of the time, and I'll be coming back once the general evaluator calls me. Thank you so much, and back to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dhwani, for introducing yourself and the role to our meeting. Now let's welcome our counter for today. She is a passionate speaker, hippie at heart, mom at home, and an entrepreneur by choice. Let's welcome Toastmaster Aparna to introduce herself and her role.
Thank you very much, Madam GE. Some of the best orators of the modern world not only had a very compelling speech, but they also had the ability to make the speakers wanting for more, to hear more of what they had to say. And one of the reasons for that was the ease of flow that they brought to their language. And today, as the R counter, I'm going to help each one of you who chooses, who dares to speak here today, to aspire and probably even achieve that level of free flow in your language. So as the R counter, my purpose is to note words and sounds that are used as crutch words or pause fillers by anyone who dares to speak today. During the meeting, I will listen to overused words, including and, well, but, so, you know, kind of, and whatnot. I will also listen to filler sounds, including and I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or a phrase, such as I, or this means, like. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. And with that, I shall also present my report. A quick tip, if we want to achieve this flawless flow, take a deep breath, take it easy, and go slow. Thank you, and back to you, Madam GE.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aparna, for introducing yourself and your role. Let's now move on to our grammarian for the day, who is a writer, technology enthusiast, and a futurist, currently enjoying his mini retirement in Bangalore. He often wonders, what if we were characters in someone else's movie? He loves to travel, 23 Indian states and 15 countries so far. Interested in movies, books, finance, cultures, human rights, and the list goes on. His favorite movie is Matrix Trilogy. Let's welcome DTM Tara Gopal to introduce himself and his role.
Thank you so much, Toastmasters Sahana. What a wonderful theme today. And being a fellow Bong, I can really correlate the sentiments with good food and especially MISHTI DOI. I'm the grammarian for the day, and my role is to evaluate every speaker based on the kind of English language they are using. It's not, even though the term is grammarian, but it's an all-encompassing role about the nuances of the English language. And I will be giving the report at the end of the day to the general evaluator, Madam Sahana. The word of the day today is glom, and which means to take or to get something. It can also be used as a phrase like glom onto, which means taking something for our own use. One example could be, after a long day, the Toastmasters decided to glom onto the MISHTI DOI. Or you can even say that she often quotes interesting phrases glommed from famous books. So I encourage all of you to use the word glom. It's an interesting different word. And all the best for the meeting. Over to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, DTM Tara Gopal, for introducing yourself and your role. Let's move on to our listener for the day, who is a fun-loving, ambitious, and sporty person. Alongside her profession as a product manager, she finds delight in exploring new places and immersing in different cultures through travel. Let's welcome Toastmaster Prabha to introduce herself and her role.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guest. Effective communication is just like a two-sided coin. While one side represents speaking, the other side is about listening. And the secret to speaking is like a champ. It's all in the ears. So my role today is to test if our ears are wide open by asking questions on the speaker content towards the end of the session. Thank you. Over to you, G.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Prabha, for introducing yourself and your role. So that is my Taggle team here to evaluate all of you and hope our meeting is as delectable as a MISHTI DOI. That's it from me, and back to you, Toastmaster of the day, DTM Sourav.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sahana and her entire Taggle team for leading this evaluation section of this meeting. So before we move on to the prepared speech section, let me ask you, have you, and what is that you have experience with MISHTI DOI? Like, what has been your experience? So particularly people who are not staying in Bengal, but are Bengalis. So I know Samita, she stays in Nagpur, right? So Samita, what has been like, how difficult or easy it is for you to find MISHTI DOI in Nagpur?
No, it's not at all easy. And initially when I had moved here, I used to wait for Gitanjali to come, and we would buy platform tickets and go there to get a few cups of MISHTI DOI and come back home and just be happy that we have got something on hand. So for us, MISHTI DOI is going to the station. Okay, now we do get some, not in my place, but yeah, I have to travel at least 70 kilometers to get a cup of MISHTI DOI. Very close to my heart.
So India is not only a country where women travel a lot to get a cup of water, but it's also for a cup of MISHTI DOI. What 70 kilometers for a MISHTI DOI? Nice. But you just gave us a very nice tip. Did you guys realize that we just got a tip? If you're staying in a city where you don't find the food that you're looking for from your local cuisine, so one of the strategies is to find a train that comes from that city, has got a pantry car, go to the station, give a little bit of a bribe to the people who are there on the pantry car, and you can get some of your local cuisine, right there at the station, right? So I think that's a very, very interesting strategy and much cheaper option than getting it from Zomato, Intercity, or those kind of options, right? So thank you so much, Samita. That was indeed a pearl of wisdom. And definitely I'm going to use this for something or the other. We'll take one more input from, I know Sanjana is also here. So Sanjana, you recently moved from Bangalore to Banaras, right? And Banaras is famous for various kind of curds, dahi, sweets and all. So how is it that, what's happening with MISHTI DOI? Are you getting that there or not?
Yeah, so in my first year in the hostel that I lived, in the canteen there, we wouldn't get MISHTI DOI. So the place where we live, it's called Lanka. So I remember I have roamed around every street in Lanka to find MISHTI DOI, and I usually like having it after lunch or dinner. And after lunch, I can't go out because it's very hot. And after dinner, I keep roaming around to find that MISHTI DOI. But in my first year, though, I couldn't find it. But gladly in my second year, there's a canteen in this hostel where they have MISHTI DOI and they have enough stock of it. So I'm very happy that I can just go down a couple of floors, take it, and enjoy. And it's mother dairy, so it's good for me.
Nice. Which means that whether or not you like a college will depend on whether they have MISHTI DOI or not. We have a very special guest in this meeting today, which is Toastmaster Dina. Toastmaster Dina is actually not guest. She's more like a family for us, and she joins us in every meeting. Dina, I would like to know from you whether you like curd, you like yogurt or not. And where do you like sweet yogurt? Put your answer on the chat, Dina. Let us know whether you like sweet yogurt and whether you have it for breakfast. And I will also type my question on chat. So Dina is a very special friend from Canada, and she joins us almost in every other meeting. She has this very unique strength of doling out table topics on chat. I don't think any of us have that skill, which she has. The special powers is what Dina brings to the table. Dina, thank you so much for joining. Do you want to say hello, Dina? We can't hear you. You're on mute. Hello, Dina. Hi. Good evening. Good evening. I know it's good evening in Canada. So thank you for joining us. And you always bring that, sweetness to our meeting. Thank you for being here. Okay, put your answer on chat, Dina. Okay, so we'll come back to this more towards the next part of the meeting, further in the meeting. But let me get started with the prepared speech section. And for the prepared speech section, we'll start off with the first speaker. But before I introduce the speaker, let me introduce the evaluator. The evaluator for the first speaker is Toastmaster Sanjana Garai. Toastmaster Sanjana is a student of IIT Banaras and is currently pursuing her BTech plus MTech in maths and computing. Okay, this will scare off a lot of people on the call, but that's okay. Some people are special. She loves riding her dad's Meteor, playing badminton, reading books on business, trekking and wakeboarding. She's keen to start her own brand that will bring about a positive change in the society. What you also don't know about Sanjana is that she is also a very good writer. And she is an awesome speaker. So here we have as our first evaluator, a multi-talented, extremely talented, insanely talented Toastmaster Sanjana Garai. Over to you, Sanjana, for explaining the project objectives.
First of all, thank you for that wonderful and wholesome introduction. So my target speaker for today will be attempting her level 2 project 2 understanding cultural differences. The purpose of the project is for the member to identify his or her own cultural identities and the stereotypes that impact others' perceptions on him or her. Timer, please note that the speech time is 5 to 7 minutes. And I wish all the best to my target speaker, and back to you, team.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sanjana, for explaining the project objectives. Now, let me invite the speaker for today. And our first speaker for today is Toastmaster Jyothi. Toastmaster Jyothi Mandal, she is an yoga coach. She is the president or vice president education of the Blue Expressions Toastmasters Club, which was earlier at the corporate club of IBM. And now it's a community club. Toastmaster Jyothi is also a division level contestant in table topics and international speech contest. Toastmaster Jyothi presenting her speech today, and her speech title is Friends from 14 Countries. Toastmaster Jyothi Mandal, Friends from 14 Countries, Friends from 14 Countries, Toastmaster Jyothi Mandal.
Good morning, everyone. Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Sahavirya Karva Vahe, Tejasvina Vadita Mastu, Ma Vidyasha Vahe. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Does anybody knows the meaning of this mantra? We can't see the raise of hands. Okay, I'll tell you the meaning of this mantra in some time. As we all know, Rishikesh is the yoga capital of the world. And last year, I was in Rishikesh for 1 month, attending yoga teacher training, and students joined yoga school from 14 different countries, such as France, Netherlands, USA, Germany, UK, and many more different countries. They each had their unique customs, beliefs, tradition, and culture, which sometimes clashed. Yes. There were around 40 students in one class, and out of them, only 5 Indian students in the yoga class, and the remaining were from different countries. For the first few days, we all observed each other. There was a huge difference in their culture, understanding, the way they live, the way they talk, and many more things. On the first day, we all introduced each other, shook hands, and became friends. I will share 2 stories. The first story is on what happened in my yoga class. One day, our yoga guru asked a student to pass the book which had mantras written in it. The student from Netherlands had thrown the spiritual book instead of passing the book to the teacher. And we Indian students couldn't resist that by seeing what she has done. Because we pray books as it represents Goddess Saraswati, Vidya, the god of knowledge. But the students from the other countries look at the book just like any other object. And that's okay for them. It's their perspective. Then our yoga guru smiled and taught them why we should respect books, as it provides knowledge. Jnana Yoga is the path of knowledge, using the mind to transcend its own ego and thoughts with the goal of becoming liberated from the world and uniting the inner self with the absolute reality. The students learned and thanked the guru for teaching them. The second story happened in our yoga class was something on culture and religion. Yes, I remember our SAA said to refrain from talking about sex, politics, and religion, as it may hurt the sentiment of the audience. But I make sure my story will not hurt the sentiment, but it will make everybody feel happy here. Now, let me explain the meaning of the mantra which I mentioned in the beginning of my speech. Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Sahavirya Karva Vahe, Tejasvina Vadita Mastu, Ma Vidvisha Vahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Annapurna is the goddess of food. By uttering this mantra before eating food, the mind becomes completely pure and calm. We pray the God, may our meal nourish our body. Our ancestors used to chant this mantra every time before they used to eat food. And I had forgotten this long back, and I'm sure you all. I realized, oh yeah, I'm back to the olden days of Gurukul. The vibes, the energy, the aura, everything was so positive. Just far from the city, crowd, pollution, noise, that 1 month was so beautiful amidst nature, greenery, and positivity. We were taught to chant this mantra before eating food in our yoga class. One day, a student from Germany raised this question: why we should chant this mantra? It all says about Sanatana Dharma. It's Hinduism, but we are Christians. Our yoga guru smiled, said, chanting mantra is not about religion, but it is about our body, mind, and soul. It's about uniting the self with the spirit of the universe. That's what yoga is. It's a spiritual discipline based on extremely subtle science, which focuses on bringing harmony between mind and body. It is an art and science of healthy living. All the students applauded for the knowledge Guru has shared, and everybody asked to teach them this month. As time passed and as we came to the end of our yoga course, we shared the contacts, we became good friends, and we are still in touch with them on Instagram. We compliment them on their achievements and they compliment us. Whenever I will, I'm sure, whenever I'll travel to the other countries in future, I have these wonderful friends from these 14 different countries. And at the end, we bridged the gap of empathy, compassion, and cultural understanding among us. They learned a lot from us, and we learned a lot from them. Thank you, and over to you, TMOD.
Thank you so much. Can we have a big round of applause for our speaker, Toastmaster Jyothi Mandal? Thank you so much for introducing us to the friends from the various countries. With this, we will move on to the second speaker. But before I introduce the speaker, let me introduce the evaluator. The evaluator of the second speaker is Toastmaster Chitrakshi Vij. Toastmaster Chitrakshi Vij is a double path breaker. But the most exciting thing about this is that she has completed this in just 8 months of her Toastmasters journey. She is currently the secretary of the Gabbys Toastmasters Club, has empowered over 6,000 individuals to secure promotions, ace interviews, and excel in their visual and vocal communications. She is a roadie. She loves off-road journeys and fearlessly navigates life just like a trusty old Jeep. Toastmaster Chitrakshi Vij, may I request you to present the evaluation guidelines for our second speaker today.
Our second speaker for today, the one I'm evaluating, is Toastmaster Sanjay Jain. His pathway is leadership development, and he's attempting his L2P2, which is understanding your leadership style. He is expected to, the purpose of this project is for him to identify his primary leadership style or styles. The purpose is for him to share some aspect of his primary leadership style or discuss leadership styles in general. With that, over to you, Timo.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Chitrakshi. Let me now introduce the second speaker, a very new member in the Gabbys, but already taking up a lot of roles, doing a lot of speeches. Toastmaster Sanjay Jain. Toastmaster Sanjay Jain is a chartered accountant by profession, married to a lovely wife, Sushma Jain, who is also a chartered accountant. The CA couple is blessed with 2 lovely children. Outside Toastmasters and accounting, Sanjay likes playing cricket, chess, and loves traveling. Toastmaster Sanjay Jain, are you a leader? Are you a leader, Toastmaster Sanjay Jain?
Thank you, Sourav, for a wonderful introduction. Abraham Lincoln once said that no man is good enough to govern another person without the consent of that other person. Good morning, Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Are you a leader? I would like to ask you, are you a leader? Yes, friends, we are all leaders. We cautiously or unconsciously follow certain people because they influence our life or we influence them. For example, in a home, we follow our parents, our spouse, our children. Why? Because we are inspired by them. In society, we follow certain leaders because of their wavelength, ideology, similar ideology, or similar objective. In office or organization, we follow certain people because of organization structure or concentration of power. Hence, everywhere we follow somebody or somebody follows us. We change our leadership style based on the situation of circumstances. Men says that after marriage, they lose their independence and start blaming their spouse and marriage. But if we analyze the statement of Abraham Lincoln that no man is good enough to govern himself, to govern another person without the consent of that other person. Here, if you analyze, we see we have given our consent to our spouse. Why? Because to avoid conflicts in relationship. And we think that they can display their leadership style more powerfully than us. Hence, we leave it to them for various decision making. Now, come on, I would like to, I was going through the project, and to understand the leadership style of not my wife, but to understand the leadership style of myself. So I started reading various leadership styles and came that there are so many leadership styles, like the bureaucratic leadership style, the democratic leadership style, authoritative, peer testing, and various leadership styles are there. Which leadership style suits me? I was confused. So I started applying this leadership style from my childhood. When I was a child, I adopted the leadership style of persuasion. I was demanding toys and telling my parents not to force me to study. One day, it so happened that my parents decided to change their leadership style from democratic to authoritative and started dictating me the terms. And from that day, they were dictating me the terms, and I had no other choice but to go with the flow or get punished. And when I joined the college, I became the captain of the team, cricket team. There, I was following the leadership style of authoritative and treating myself as a boss. I was dictating the terms to my team members and saying that they perform as per my instructions. But the results were not good enough. We were defeated badly in our first match. Then the coach came and said me, Sanjay, change your leadership style or you will lose your captainship. I said him, sir, can you tell me which leadership style I have to adopt? And can you guide me further? He said that as a team, you have to take everyone to collectively and understand their strengths and weaknesses and give them the roles as per their strengths and weaknesses. I understood the coach instructions and then called the team members and started noting down each strength and weaknesses of each team members and then brainstorming that how we can win the next match. We strategized it and then applied the same and we won the match here. Here the learning was that one leadership style does not make us, we have to change our leadership style often. We have to sometimes become authoritative, sometimes democratic as per the situation. If there is a routine work, we may be authoritative. If it's required brainstorming and things like that, then it is a democratic leadership style plays a very important role. In India, we say that we are a democratic country and the voice of people is heard and we elect the government. But there are certain rules and regulations which governs this. For example, if we violate the traffic signal, we are penalized for the same. We cannot say that we are in a democratic country and we can do anything. In a similar way, each leadership styles have merits and demerits. We have to understand it and apply in our day-to-day life. As Chanakya has rightly said, that a good leader is one who knows when to be assertive and when to be compassionated. With this, I would like everyone to join with me and raise up your hands and say, I am a leader. I am a leader. I am a leader. Thank you. Over to Toastmaster Sourav Dutta, DTM Sourav Dutta. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sanjay. Yes, I think as a parent, we all know the importance of going from the democratic leadership style to the autocratic leadership style at times. I think every parent does that. And we don't have a choice, because when the dance of democracy happens on our head, we are left with a little choice to do otherwise. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sanjay. Moving on to the third speaker for today. But before I introduce the third speaker, let me introduce the third evaluator, the evaluator evaluating the third speaker. He is a visiting Toastmaster, one of my favorite Toastmasters outside of the Gabbys, Toastmaster Sahil Sachdeva, presently working in Cognizant, a leader by heart, and an energon of vehement mind, a passionate debater, and a diligent orator. And I can vouch for every one of this one. He has represented the district finals for evaluation and humorous speech contest in District 124 Toastmasters International. He is a Smedley Platinum awardee and is presently serving as an Area F4 Director in District 124. So we have a lot of district officers in the meeting today. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sahil, for joining us. And can you please explain the project objectives of the speaker?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, distinguished Toastmaster Sourav. Toastmaster Mamta, my speaker, will be delivering her level 3 project 3 from her pathway presentation mastery. The purpose of this project is for the member to understand the types of persuasive speeches and deliver a persuasive speech at a club meeting. The member will deliver a well-organized persuasive speech on any topic. The member may choose to appeal to emotions, ethics, or logic in his/her speech. The speech may be humorous, informational, or any style the member chooses. Timer, please note that the time allotted for this particular project is 5 to 7 minutes. With this, I pass on the stage back to Toastmaster of the Day, distinguished Toastmaster Sourav.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sahil Sachdeva. And now it's time to introduce the third speaker, the final speaker for today. Our third speaker today is Toastmaster Mamta Singh. She's a software developer at Cognizant Bangalore. She hails from the steel city of India, Bokaro, Jharkhand. Yes, MS Dhwani's land, and hopes to meet him one day. Her hobbies are traveling and clicking lots of Instagrammable photos, and she recently covered Darjeeling, Ooty, and Kurg. The title of her speech, Faults in Our Education System. Toastmaster Mamta Singh, Faults in Our Education System. Faults in Our Education System. Toastmaster Mamta Singh. Over to you, Mamta.
Yet another day where I haven't used the formula A plus B whole square. Yet another day where I haven't used the formula of trigonometry. Have you ever thought, why did we learn all those skills in the first place? Why did we learn all the skills in the first place if we do not have the real world applicability of all those things? Today, we are living in a very fast-paced world where everything is moving around us constantly at a speed of light. Except one thing, that is the Indian education system and the syllabus of that. It has become completely obsolete. It simply teaches us to mug up the things, pass the exam, get a 9-to-5 job, and after that, nobody cares about that. We struggle in the basic life skills. 18 years of formal education after paying hefty fees in school, colleges, private tuitions, coachings, and whatnot, just to struggle in the real life. We lag, this is the reality. We lag in handling the real life situations. Now, let me talk about what are those lagging points where we face struggles in the real life. The first and foremost is the taxes. This is the month of July, and I do not need too much emphasis on taxes. Yes. Can anyone here tell me that you understand each and every point there in your Form 16? No. Okay, I can see Sanjay Jain. Just because he is the CA, he knows that. But most of us do not know each and every term there in the Form 16. I was the one who was not knowing the difference between NPS and EPS. Inside the EPFO, we have EPF and EPS. Now, what is the difference between EPF and EPS? I was paying the taxes. I was earning and paying the taxes and not knowing the difference between all those things. According to Robert Kiyosaki, who is the author of the book Rich Dad and Poor Dad, he says that it is the middleman, we middle class mango people who pays highest taxes. Big businesses and investors do not pay the taxes, higher taxes. This is the first. Second is the personal finance. Earning 40 LPA, 50 LPA in a year and still broke at the end of the month without having any money, without having any savings. Why? We lack in doing the personal financing. We do not know how to build our emergency fund. We do not know the basic skills of budgeting. What is the finance rule for that? We do not know how many asset classes are there to invest. We do not know what are the financial instruments like equity, gold, bond, real estate. What are the things there to invest? We do not know about that. Can anyone here tell me how many of Indian population invest in the stock market?
About 2%.
Yes, it's nearly 2 to 3%. And this data is from National Stock Exchange. And in the US, how many people invest in the stock market?
13 to 14%, or maybe 40%, I'm not sure.
No, it is 61%. See the massive difference between the figures. Figures say a lot. We do not know how to generate our wealth, how to keep our wealth in a long run, how to be wealthy and stay wealthy in the long run. We do not know how to generate the passive income because school was busy teaching us how hydrogen reacts with benzene, not all these real life skills. Third is the public speaking. Well, this is the very reason why we are sitting over here Saturday morning in the Toastmaster meeting. According to University of Florida, there are 75% of the people who fear public speaking. They prefer to die rather than going on stage and speaking out their mind. People fear expressing themselves. They feel anxiety and nervousness while communicating with the public. We should have learned all those skills in the school, right? Another skill which we lack is the stress management. India stands at the rank 120 out of 136 countries in happiness index. We are so depressed as the country. We talk about this, that, all those trillion economy, but we do not care about how the person is feeling, how the person is from inside, how the person is at the mental state. If we try to take care, forget about the India as a whole country. If we try to take care within our family, a nuclear family having 4 to 5 members, if we try to take care of each and every member in the family, then collectively, we have like the collection of houses in the country. Collectively, the happiness index of India will grow. Another skill, which I'm going to talk about, is the cooking and driving. Well, we have stereotyped it. Cooking is for ladies and driving is for gents. But actually, women also needs to go from point A to point B. And men also having the stomach, right? They also feel hungry. Any men over here who has not eaten any food in their life because cooking is the lady's job? No, right? So we should learn these basic skills. Women should learn driving because driving liberates a woman, and for men, cooking liberates them. Another skill which I'm going to talk about is social etiquettes. We do not know how to talk with our manager. If we meet him in the cafeteria, office cafeteria, or in the office garden, other than our assigned task, we will feel awkward and avoid facing them because we are socially so awkward. We do not know how to start any conversation with a stranger. We do not know how the other person is feeling. If we know the social etiquettes, then we can foster a good relationship with them. Wherever we go, we can create a happy, chilled, comfortable environment, right? So these are the points where I feel I lacked and I should have learned all those things in my school and learning. And I hope everyone over here would be also lagging in these skills. Please go and learn, make yourself better, smarter, and brighter every single day. Thank you. And back to you, TMOD of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mamta. That was indeed a speech which made us think. And that's why I said we will have 3 speeches with 3 different flavors. The first speech, which helped us, understand the experience of having friends from various countries. The second speech, which helped us discover about leadership. And the third speech, which kind of inspires us to question the status quo. Before I launch the polls for the best speaker, may I request the timer to please confirm if all the speakers are eligible. You don't need to give a detailed timer report, just confirm the eligibility of the speakers for voting.
No, the last speaker is not eligible. The rest 2 are.
Okay, so let me launch the polls for the best speaker. And while we do that, while you vote, I will be reading out a very sweet note rolled out to us by Toastmaster Dina on the chat, and she has sent it to me directly, and I think she has also put it for everyone. So thanks, Toastmasters. I think like that Toastmasters with my speech becomes better than powerful. Inside of disability are stronger. But I know how to use that to organize my speech on a speech note with practicing hard by looking at the mirror on the wall. I use body language and hand gestures and eye contacts with the web camera to convey my feeling during this entire club meeting. Thank you, Dina, and you're doing a wonderful job in making yourself a powerful speaker. Thank you. So before I hand over to the TTM, let me share a few fun facts about MISHTI DOI. And also I would want to ask you about a very interesting question I have for people here. So before I ask the question, here's a few fun facts about MISHTI DOI. So MISHTI DOI never originated in West Bengal. A lot of people think that it's a dish that originated in Kolkata or West Bengal. It's not. It was actually originated in Bangladesh in the Bogra district of Bangladesh. And there's a famous Ghosh family, one of the Zamindar families of Bogra, who actually introduced MISHTI DOI. And interestingly, MISHTI DOI was popularized by a gentleman called Altaf Ali Chaudhary of Bangladesh. He was the patron behind MISHTI DOI. So MISHTI DOI is not only an insanely delicious dish, it is also a symbol of what? Secularism, right? We have a Hindu family which actually introduced the dish, and then we had a Muslim, he was Nawab Zada, as they used to call it, the son of a Nawab, and he actually patronized this MISHTI DOI. So it's a very secular dish. And right now, apart from West Bengal, it's available all across Assam. It's available in Orissa. It's also available, as we heard, in certain pockets in various parts of the country. So the question that I have for you, what is your MISHTI DOI? What is that one dish that you miss, which is, very, very traditional, something very localized you used to get in your hometown? Now that we are all urban migrants, we are missing out on that, right? So what is that dish that's your calling? And you can go to any extent like Samita does. She can go to the railway platform and get the MISHTI DOI. So what is it that will motivate you to, or even Sanjana, she chooses her college based on whether the MISHTI DOI is available or not, right? So what is your MISHTI DOI? What is that you can relate with, that dish? It can be a dessert, it can be anything else. Yeah, Chitrakshi.
So I traveled to Europe about 3 years back, and in a very small food joint, we got this yummy cheese, okay, really yummy cheese, and it was very expensive. So the waiter, they said, listen, this is something that is exotic, you get it nowhere and you must try it, and this is something. So I picked it up and I tried it. It was yum. And we had to pay about $50, 50 euros or something for that entire dish. And it only had that cheese. The second I tried it, my thought went back to the 10 rupee something, a dish called kaladi, which is the same cheese that's available in Jammu and Kashmir, because that is a cheese that is made by the nomads. They carry all that milk and everything, and it's the same cheese. And I had to pay $50 for it, and it was an exotic cheese which is only made in the colder places in Europe. And I had the same thing in Jammu. It's very smelly, it's very stinky, so you can't even get it to Delhi because my entire family runs away. Like my father hates the smell of it, but it is something that I miss every time. It is just exotic.
Fantastic. So Kaladi from Jammu. So anytime you're going to Jammu, you have to try Kaladi. But as Chitrakshi said, I think something like durian, right, where you have to acquire the taste for it. Someone who doesn't like it just doesn't like it. You can't make that person like it. Mishti doi, on the other hand, is very easy on the palate. It's very easy on the stomach. So anyone who doesn't like it will also develop a taste instantaneously for Mishti doi. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Mishti doi, so you will probably find me a little obsessed with it. Anyone else? One more member, one more guest who would want to share that dish? Yeah, Jacob.
Yeah, so I'm from Kerala. So we have this payasam that is called Ada Pradaman, which we get only during the Onam times. And also because in Kerala it's widely available, since it's very easy to make. It's very labor intensive, not easy to make. So we don't find much of that in Bangalore, despite the close proximity between Karnataka and Kerala. It's only a seasonal dish. So every time we have to wait for Onam to come up for me to have it, because I don't travel to Kerala often. So yeah, that's something that I really miss. I tried making it once. That is when I found out how labor intensive it was. And then I've started to appreciate the dish more, simply because of the effort that goes into it. But since it's not available very widely in Bangalore, I always crave for it. Whenever I go to Kerala, I try to have it often. Yeah, that's one of my equivalent to the Mishti Doi, if you want to say.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jacob. And we will continue this conversation on chat. I would like you to post on chat, what is that one food that you crave for? Because the city that you live in today, you don't get that food and you are craving for that food all the time. And I would also want to know if you have a story of going to the railway station, a kind of a story to get that food, because it's not available in your city. I think that's an experience that we would all love to hear about, know about, and that is something that you can put on the chat. So yes, Dina, you wanted to say something. I have your chat, Dina. I will again read it out in some time. Okay. So I will read out your portion. Okay, let me read that out. Okay, Dina. You have put this in chat. I feel that career is very hard in front of million people up on the stage, and my heart beats very fast. I like to speak in Toastmasters, and we love to hear you. And thank you so much, Dina, for that beautiful note. You keep on giving the snippets of inspiration to us. Do you know how much we love you? Thank you, Dina, for being here. With this, let me move on to the table topic section. And for that, I would now invite our table topic master, another very new member of the Gabbys Toastmasters Club. And I absolutely love it when I see these newcomers taking up such major roles in meetings. And I'm not surprised. Toastmaster Bimpy Kumari, she sends me a one-line introduction, which is a rarity in Toastmasters. She just says, I am based out of Bangalore, working in an IT firm, loves to travel and loves to cook. And let me hand over the stage to Toastmaster Bimpy Kumari, our table topic master for today. Over to you, Bimpy.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Thank you, Toastmaster Sourav Dutta. So I am today's table topic master. So what is table topic? As we already know, I will be going to give a few topics to you who all are willing to talk on this topic. They can think about this on prompt and then talk about this given topic. So who want to nominate themselves? I can raise your hand.
since you're taking the role for the first time, Bimpy, you can also pull up people. And let me also tell you that you have to give one topic for our special guest, Dina, which you can read out the topic and put it on chat, and she will give her topic on chat. Dina, we made note of you that you have raised your hand. Thank you.
Okay, so I would like to call our special guest, Paduka Kannan. So the topic for you, would you rather go for free food or travel for the rest of the life?
All right, so rise and shine, rise and shine, Gabbys. Right, so in fact, I don't even need to think twice, because a person like me, I'm not a foodie at all, actually. I don't know if it's unfortunate or fortunate. In fact, I eat to survive. And in fact, when I was during my, when I was a kid or something, my mom has to literally toil a lot to make me feed. But I love travel. Like, this is something that I've been like wanting to travel right from when I was a kid. So when I was till my college days, I hardly traveled. I'm from Madurai, small town, and my parents are very busy. And so all I used to go is just to the school and to my home, just that. But the day when I got my first job, and that too in Bhubaneswar, a person who didn't even go much out of Madurai, and I got to Bhubaneswar, which I literally had to open the map, since I'm a little bit poor in geography as well. I had to say, okay, where is this? I know it is the capital of Orissa. I know that Orissa is somewhere to side. So let me just check where is it. So, and from that day, I think I've been trying to travel. So yeah, so undoubtedly, it's travel, and travel. Over to you, HTM.
Thanks, Paduka. It is really well spoken. I'll move it to next topic. The topic for Diana, I will be pasting it here in message. Diana, you can take this topic. Thank you, Diana. I will be picking next speaker. Who want to go next? I can. Shweta Sharma, you are the guest for today. Will you want to take the topic?
So, Bimpy, I could already see guest Monica is raising her hand, and Samita as well. Just for your notice.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
You can give the topic to Monica, guest Monica.
Okay. So Monica, are you there? Okay. So the topic
yes, I'm
here. The topic for you is pizza or homemade food.
So I think this topic is a revelation for my personality. I am a fitness freak. I practice yoga. I love working out, primarily to have mental peace in my life. So I would always go ahead with homemade food. And my favorite homemade food is, I hail from Bihar, though I've not stayed there for long. Most of my education has happened in Bangalore and Bombay. But I love the homemade chawal dal bhujia with ghee. That is my go-to food every time. And I don't cook much, but I would always prefer homemade food. Since I'm a fitness freak, I am a bit health conscious, and I feel that, I can enjoy various flavors at my home itself. I would always prefer homemade food. And outside food, once in a while, definitely. I love outside pani puri, though I'm not a big fan of pizzas or burgers or various kinds of soft drinks. But yes, pani puri is something that I relish, I love all the time. So homemade food, two reasons. One, that it gives you a flavor of your indigenous area, and it relishes your taste all the time. You miss your family, it reminds you of your childhood days and whatnot. So definitely homemade food. Thank you.
Thanks, Monica. Even I am from Bihar and I really love having pani puri, like on all the alternative days. Thank you. Nice book.
Thank you.
Yeah, next I would like to go for Smriti Rajan Sahu. So the topic for you, ultimate food you ever cooked.
Oh, yeah, thanks for the topic. So I am not a foodie, and again, I'm not used to cooking a lot. But yes, I used to cook in my initial days in career while we are sharing our houses, and we have to cook once a day in the week when the cook is absent for a few days. So in those days, I usually I know cooking how for what is it, rice, dal, then few lady finger fries and all. Yeah, I also help my mother and my wife in doing the chapati, what is it? Yeah, and all. Yeah, I also help to make sandwiches. I think that is the tastiest food I can make. And yeah, being from Odisha, I like to have what is it, dahi vada and all. Yeah, I think that's all.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Smriti Ranjan. It's really good that you are helping your wife. So I would like to call out next speaker, Jacob Matthew. So the topic for you, calories count or pizza?
So contrary to many of the previous table topic speakers we had, I am a foodie. So the answer here is pretty straightforward. Pizza. I don't look into go to the supermarket and take something that catches my eye and turn it to see how much calories there. If the food is appealing to me, I just put it in my basket. If the food I see in the menu is something that I feel like I want to eat, I don't go around asking the waiter how much calorie is there in this. Not I just try to up my exercise schedule later on in the day to try and make up for it. It's not advisable, but that's how much I love food. So yes, pizza used to be a go-to food for me whenever we used to be in my college days, because back then Domino's was the standard, because that was all that I had as a reference point. A couple of months into my corporate job, I was introduced to the Italian style of it, the one that the thin crust. That is when I realized that there is a whole lot more difference and a whole lot more different types of pizza other than the standard Domino's wala crust. And I also started to understand that pizza crust can also be made at home. This is something. Mom is a baker she's an amateur home baker. So as an experiment, she tried it out, and it's turned out to be even better than the ones that I had in restaurants and the Italian ones as well. So given the sheer amount of toppings that is available at our house itself, nowadays I prefer to make pizza at home. And again, I don't give a damn about the calories. I probably should, given the fact that it might cost me later in life. But for now, it's pizza, pizza, pizza all the way. Thank you.
Yeah, nice, Jacob. Even I like pizza. I do prefer preparing in home as well, but even crust or the base of the pizza, I'll prefer to buy it. Really nice spoken. I would like to go for the next guest of our day. Vanaja, do you want to take a topic and talk about this?
Yeah, sure. I wouldn't be able to come on camera. Sorry, I have some network issues.
No issues. I will be. So your topic is most memorable meal.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. And thank you so much, Bimpy, for the topic. most memorable meal for me would be wangi bath, which is prepared by the vegetable brinjal. So this is my all-time favorite food because since from my childhood, my mom used to cook it very special for me. So which is why I love it. Even if you give me 3 times in a day, I have it. So that's that much crave I have for that. So there were many other dishes in the list. However, this is one of it which I always prefer to have. And most of the time, whenever my mom prepares, I used to learn like how to cook and all that. I have learned that. And now when I prepare and serve it to my family members also, they like it very much. So, and they always tell me that, so whenever there are other dishes where you cook, that is completely different from this. So that's how I have been habituated to eat or to prepare wangi bath. So this is one of my favorite. And adding on to that, I can also prepare some kind of mixture where you can have it with wangi bath. So it would be really tasty. Unlike bisi bele bath, we have the bundi aside. So for that also we can prepare. I do prepare that at home. So both the taste would really comes well. So which is why my family loves. So and that is one of my favorite food. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vanjana. Really nice spoken. Even I am going to try wangi bath for surely. So
yes.
Next topic goes to Samita. Samita, are you there?
Again, current issue. Yeah, so I was not on camera. Yeah, sure.
No issues, Samita. So the topic for you is strangest food ever eaten. Strangest food ever eaten.
Oh, hello. Hi, everyone. Today morning, talking about food, it fills my mind with those delicious foods that we have. And suddenly I get a topic, strangest food that I ever had. Now, when I had visited a small village, there we were asked whether we will be having the food that was offered there. It's a village in India, right? So what can probably go wrong? And we said, yes, we would definitely like to share your food. They asked us once again that, would you like to have the food that we are having, or would you like some other food to be prepared for you? We, being the gracious guest, said, no, we will eat whatever you are preparing. That said and done, they prepared and they served it to us. We were not sure what the food was, but it was good, along with the rice and chapati that was offered. So we were having it. And at the same time, we were looking at one another, trying to guess what it is. It looked like a vegetable, but what exactly was that? We did not specify that we needed veg food, because we do eat non-vegetarian food also. But when they asked us, did you like the food? A question was forming in my mind. What should I do? Should I ask them, or should I keep on eating, since it is a food that I don't know, and suddenly if they spring a surprise, we will be extremely worried, maybe leave the food, that won't look good. Finally, I couldn't continue any longer, and I asked them, okay, I finished my food. Can you please tell me what it is? And actually, it was from the pond. It is a sort of a animal, water animal, which was cooked. I don't know. I didn't ask further. I said, it's very good, thank you, and I don't want to eat anymore. That was the strangest food that I have ever eaten. Thank you.
Thank you, Samita. Who want to go next? I would like to call our guest. Any guest interested to take any topic? Okay, so I'll call Bindu Joseph. Are you willing to take any topic?
Hi, but I'm outside. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, go ahead. Let's see.
Yeah, your topic is food is not just eating energy, it's an experience.
Could you repeat that? The sound is like.
Yeah, sure. Food is not just eating energy, it's an experience.
Okay. Well, there was a lot of controversy about foodies and non-foodies. So how would I label myself? I'm a non-foodie foodie. Now, how would I explain that? Well, if you asked me about 15 years back, I would have said I'm a total foodie, that I could obsess about food and think about it and read about it. But then what happened? I started cooking. I have a high-stress career, and cooking was a sort of release at the end of the day. And then that release, it became a passion. And then I became passionate about that passion. And now I cook 365 days, different dishes. I post every day on FB. In case you join me on FB, you'll come and to see it and you'll come to believe it. But for me, it's not about the food. It's about the experience, about the creation, about the satisfaction. So would I say it's a staple? Yeah, in a sort of way it is, but it is much more for that for me. It gives me relaxation, it gives me enjoyment, it gives me satisfaction, a feeling of creativity. It's so much more. So for me, if you ask me, it's much more than escape. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Bindu. I would like to call next speaker, Prabha. Are you there, Prabha?
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, so the topic for you, what food you die for?
I am a foodie, a big time foodie. So in my list, there are a lot of things that I like, starting from ghee, because I am from Haryana and we cannot live without ghee, curd and butter. So, and one of the favorite food for me is gajar ka halwa. So back in my childhood days, my mom used to make gajar ka halwa during winters in north. So, but at that time, I didn't like gajar ka halwa. What happened recently, 2-3 years back, I went home and she made me gajar ka halwa again in winters. And I was so amazed by the taste of it. And I was like, why the heck I did not try this food, this gajar ka halwa dish from my childhood. Like I wasted so many years not trying it. So what I did is I came back Bangalore. I live in Bangalore, and I bought 5 kg of carrots and bring ghee from my home, and I cooked. I prepared this gajar ka halwa, and finished it within like a week or 2 weeks of time. And then again I went crazy about the food again, and I cooked again 10 I brought like 10 kgs of carrots, and I made my friends sit with me and create that carrot and prepare gajar ka halwa so that I can share with them. But then again, I have this habit of not sharing my food with people, just like Joy in Friends. So again, I just could give them just one katori of that gajar ka halwa, and rest of the gajar ka halwa I brought back to my place and ate it. And I was just going crazy over this gajar ka halwa ever since then, and it is my favorite food to have during winters. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you so
thanks
much.
for taking the topic. Even I would do I would do the same. I would not share, especially gajar ka halwa. Thanks for taking this topic again. I would like to call next speaker, Tara Gopal.
Bimpy, this will be the last topic, okay?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Thank you so much, Bimpy.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry, Team Dutta.
Maybe you are on mute, I think.
Yes. Is it done? Like now we can close this?
No, you have to tell the topic. It's not spoken.
Okay. Who is going to going the next? Who is the next?
Tara Gopal has to, you have to give the topic to Tara.
Okay, sorry. I thought like we are
Totally
closing
okay.
this section. So
No,
I okay.
No.
Yeah,
Then Tara will be the last speaker. After that, we'll close this.
Sure, Saurav. So the topic for you, Tara, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy frozen yogurt. I repeat, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy frozen yogurt.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bimpy. You cannot buy happiness, but then you need money to buy frozen yogurts as well. And that also results into a lot of happiness as well. I am a big fan of yogurts, including the different yogurts that we have all over India, MISHTI DOI for that matter. And I'm very lucky to live in a place in JP Nagar where I have side by side the KC Das and also have the Bancharams, and I can just basically walk to them. And sometimes, you know what I do, the craziest thing, I call them and I say that, do you have that product today? I'm coming, please reserve it, do not sell it. And they do it for me because I have become such a good customer to them over the years. So yes, I believe that a lot of food is gives us happiness. And you know the reason, because when we eat food, we secrete a hormone called serotonin in our body, and it is a feel-good hormone, and which allows us to see world in a much better lights with those pink glasses. So therefore, yes, you may not be able to buy happiness, but you can buy frozen yogurts, you can buy the best food that you can have, any desserts for that matter, and then it could certainly give you certain amount of happiness for sure. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Tara, for taking up this call, this topic. Over to Toastmaster Sourav Dutta. We can call out Dinah for.
Yes, thank you so much. I was just editing the polls, but before I launch the polls, can we get a confirmation from the timer that all the speakers are eligible for voting?
Yes, all the speakers are eligible.
Okay, so let me launch the polls. Dhwani, just do a quick confirmation if we have everyone on the polling list. Okay, while we do that, I have the responsibility, the huge responsibility of, first of all, congratulating our table topic master for today, Toastmaster Bimpy. Very good job, Bimpy. You do one thing, raise your hand, take it to the back, and tap yourself. Great job. Great job, Bimpy. And with this, I will also have one more responsibility, that is to read out the wonderful table topic speech of our table topic speaker, which is Toastmaster Dina. Dina, I will be spotlighting you now. You're on camera and you're spotlighted. Dina, are you ready for the speech? I'm reading it out for you. My life was ill, sick, without food. I will feel sick. My body will feel sick. I eat food, my stomach, if I don't eat food, my stomach gets nutty. My blood gets lower. Without that, sugar or coffee, I know that it feels that without food getting in my stomach, it hurts. My body feels weak. I don't feel like that weak body without foods. So Whatever I eat because without food, I will fall ill. That's a very nice thought, Dina. Can we have a big round of applause for Dina? Thank you, Dina. Thank you. Okay. With this, we will move on to the last section of our meeting, the most important section, and that is the general evaluation section, for which I will welcome back on stage our general evaluator for today, Toastmaster Sahana Nagaraja. Over to you, Sahana.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, DTM Sourav. So it is now the crucial part of our meeting, evaluation. So this is important because the purpose of evaluation is to give both positive comments and suggestions for improvement. Hopefully each speaker will feel encouraged by aspects of the speech that went well and motivated to make the speeches even better. So let's start with the individual evaluators for each speaker. First, I would like to call our first evaluator, Toastmaster Sanjana, to please evaluate Toastmaster Jyothi's speech.
So first of all, congratulations Toastmaster Jyothi on giving a speech with so beautifully structured content and highlighting the Indian traditions and its impact at the international level. Your speech title, Friends from 14 Countries, was in itself so power-packed with cultural diversity. Great use of gestures, food, shelter, very nice. And you know that made the speech very visual. So coming to your purpose, the first part of your purpose was to identify cultural identities. And you did that very well by stating two Indian traditions. First, praying to books and worshipping God before eating. But coming to the second part of the purpose, which was to identify stereotypes that impact others' perceptions on you. So as you might know, there are many stereotypes in the Indian traditions, some which are scientifically validated and, others which are beautiful, which are quoted as the words of the orthodox. So it would have been very great if you would have highlighted on a couple of these. So I think that you didn't touch upon the second part of the purpose, which was to explain about the stereotypes that impact others' perceptions on you. Now coming to the speech delivery, it was beautifully delivered, but to add a cherry on the cake, I would suggest that you had many characters in your story. The German, the yoga teacher. So it would have been very great if while talking about the German, if you would have the German accent, then while telling how your yoga teacher explained the benefit of a particular habit, you could have had the teacher of your yoga accent more calm, pacifying, so that the meaning came out bold and hit hard. And another quick tip I would say is don't keep your phone in portrait mode, because when you were trying to show your gestures, it was getting cut. The only thing I could see was only this much of your screen. So next time, put your phone in landscape mode so that we can see the beautiful gestures that you're trying to give out. So to summarize, great clarity. You engage the audience with interesting and well-structured content. Next time, carefully study your purpose and make sure your speech fulfills it, and a little bit work on your vocal variety. So you're good to go, and all the best for your next speech. And I'm really, really excited to hear you speak again. Thank you, and back to you, Ji.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sanjana, for evaluating Toastmaster Jyothi's speech. Next, I'd like to call Toastmaster Chitrakshi to please evaluate Toastmaster Sanjay's speech.
Toastmaster Sanjay, are you a leader? Well, if your title wasn't evident throughout the speech, what really was? Your purpose was to talk about different leadership styles and the kind of impact it had on you. And there's no doubt that you picked up everything that had an impact on you, including your childhood, the cricket team, and then now. Very well done as far as the purpose of the speech was concerned. What you really did very well for me was using the quotes from first Abraham Lincoln and then ending it with a quote from Chanakya. And where else, how many other leaders do we have that we can just quote like that and prove our point? Second, your audience engagement. At the beginning as well as at the end of the speech, you made sure that you kept your audience engaged. You got them on board. You woke them up and said, listen to me. I'm talking about leadership and here's my speech. So I want you to participate in it as well. And third, the references throughout that you gave, which kept us right there. So every time you said, oh, my parents really were democratic, and then they realized they had to be authoritative. Those were some of the references that made everyone laugh. At least people I could see on the screen were laughing because it was something that we could all relate to, something that clicked instantly, and something that made us all really happy about the fact that, yeah, right, those leaderships, why didn't we think of that? So you did that very well for us. Here's something that could make your leadership style and your speech style go to the next level because you're great. And why should you let anything stop you? First of all, your source of light was right behind you. So even if I wanted to, it was a little difficult to see your facial expressions. And if I couldn't see your expressions in a speech, I was really losing out on seeing a great leader there. So I would have really appreciated if you were on the other side and I could see your expressions as well, because I have no idea what your eye contact was like. I assumed you were looking at us, but I wasn't very sure. And I would have liked no discrepancies there. Second, your audience engagement was great and your points were good. Are you a leader? Raise your hands. And in the end, you made everyone say, yes, I'm a leader, I'm a leader, I'm a leader. Great. You did not give us time. Did you look at us, prompt everyone a little bit and said, come on the camera, and everyone who's on the camera, raise your hands. Are you a leader? Did you ask us that? You did not give us time. Before I could realize the question, if I was with you, great. No, you just left me out. And I felt really sad because you left your evaluator out. So maybe you should have given a slight pause for us to understand that the question was meant for us and that we need to raise our hands. That would have been great. And third, your voice modulation. Your body language and gestures were on point, but throughout this speech, you maintained a single kind of voice. The frequency of your voice as well as the tone of your voice was pretty same. So maybe if you added on to that a little bit and increase and decrease your levels of voice and your had various tonality, it would have been more impactful. So in summary, you were great. Your audience engagement and quotes were great. If you could just add a little bit of voice modulation and change the source of light, you would be outstanding. With that,
thank you so much, Toastmaster Chitrakshi, for evaluating Toastmaster Sanjay's speech. Now I'd like to call Toastmaster Sahil to evaluate Toastmaster Mamta's speech.
Upon hearing Mamta's speech, my room was magically transformed into a school of learning and facts. She had a well-researched speech, be it in terms of National Stock Exchange or even 75% of public does not prefer public speaking, according to University of California. A lot of questions that hooked the audience's attention. Standing, however, isolates the anxiety about public speaking, and Toastmaster Mamta delivered a standing speech today. But just like life, a good speech doesn't get better by chance, but by choosing to change. So today, let me take this chance to suggest you 3 changes that can help you augment your speech to the next level. The first change from my side would be in terms of Mamta's virtual setup. I was able to see Mamta's hand gestures. Those were quite evident and to the point, but alas, we couldn't see it. There were times when she was looking elsewhere instead of at the camera. I would suggest Toastmaster Mamta, a speaker that she is, to be a little more careful about her virtual setup is to have her eyes at the camera level and her hands visible throughout her speech. Probably there was a lot of space above her head. The second change from my side would be in terms of her speech crafting. Now, Toastmaster Mamta, while delivering her speech, elaborated on a multitude of skills which inadvertently made it challenging for the audience to fully absorb and process all information. I would rather suggest her to ensure that the information shared is structured in a more digestible manner, allowing the audience to absorb and retain the key points more easily. The third change from my side would be in terms of Mamta's timing. Now, Mamta's speech was in an apple pie order. She started with a question where she asked, have you ever thought, why do we need to learn all these skills? But the answer to this question came right at the end of a red card that make yourself brighter every single day. If she could have paced her speech, the listeners would have had more time to absorb the core sense of her message and would have probably given her a chance to enchant, entertain, and enlighten her audience. But overall, Toastmaster Mamta, a well-structured, a well-researched speech, a lot of facts involved in your speech, a lot of engaging questions, and you did maintain a vibrant smile. They say a smile is a curve that sets everything all right. If you could just work on your virtual setup, speech structure, and your timing in terms of pacing your speech, I'm sure you are definitely going to augment your speech to the next level. Thank you. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sahil, for evaluating Toastmaster Mamta's speech. And with that, our speech evaluation comes to an end. Thank you to all the evaluators for doing a fabulous job. Let's move on to our reports. I'd like to call our timer for the day, Toastmaster Dhwani, to please present her report.
Sahana, one quick call out before, after the timer's report, we will launch the polls for the evaluators.
Sure.
Thank you so much. Let me just share my screen. Can you all see my screen? Could anybody confirm that you can see me?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Yes. Thank you so much. With that, so coming to my timer report, with the prepared speech segment, yes, so Speaker 1, Toastmaster Jyothi, Toastmaster Sanjay were well within time. And Speaker 3, you exceeded, by 14 seconds. So you might want to be mindful of your time from next time. Coming to the evaluations, yes, the evaluators were just within time. Everybody's just touching the borderline of red, but yes, done a great job. With that, table topics. Yes, table topic speakers, Toastmaster Padaka took 1 minute 40 seconds. Toastmaster Monica took 1 minute 20 seconds. Toastmaster Smriti took 1 minute 23 seconds. Toastmaster Jacob 1 minute 57 seconds. Toastmaster Vananja, if I'm pronouncing it correct, it's 1 minute 23 seconds. Toastmaster Samita 2 minutes 20 seconds. Toastmaster Bidu 1 minute 30 seconds. Toastmaster Prabha 2 minutes 15 seconds, and Toastmaster Tara is 1 minute 27 seconds. Yes, everybody is well within time. So that's been my timer's report, and thank you. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dhwani, for presenting your timer's report. Now I'd like to call our accountant for the evening, Toastmaster Aparna, to please give us her report. Sorry, I was told that, before that, could we have the polls, please? Yeah. Yes, Toastmaster Aparna, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Madam GE. So a quick and a comprehensive report on how well we fared on our filler words and filler sounds for today. The most popular filler sound today, not surprisingly, was The most popular filler word today was and we had quite a few repetitions as well. So quickly going through, the only person who completely disappointed me today was Toastmaster Sahil Sachdeva, because he didn't give me any filler word or sound. So congratulations, Toastmaster Sahil. The others, as per their role, quickly calling out, Toastmaster Chaitanya had about one filler when he started off as the SAA. Toastmaster Dhwani, as the presiding officer, had none. However, as the timer, just towards the very end of her report, she managed to score a couple of runs. Our double DTM, Sourav Dutta, seeing that he had the largest speaking chunk in today's meeting actually fared quite well. He only had about 10 filler words and sounds combined, which isn't bad at all. And as for the repetition, he has a natural inclination towards kind of, you know, and a couple of other generic repetitions, again, which normally happens when he is transitioning or calling out people or quoting something. Toastmaster Sahana Nagaraja, our general evaluator for the day, she again had a blank slate. Only when she had to call out people, she brought in a few R's and R's. Till then, it was clean. Toastmaster Aparna Raja, I'm sure has a few, but I'm not able to gauge my own performance. Moving on, DTM Thara had one R when he started off as the grammarian, when he was introducing. However, as the table topic contestant number 8, he had a couple of them that came in, but not many. Our listener, Toastmaster Prabha, hasn't had any yet because I haven't seen her perform yet. However, as the speaker, she did have quite a few filler sounds and filler words, but seeing that she's a beginner, this is totally all right. Only about 10, and that's totally fine. She had a few repetitions, mostly the word again, then again, then again is the most favored repetition that she brings in. Our evaluator 1, during her evaluation, not when she called out the initial introduction, the purpose, but during her evaluation, had a couple of R's and R's. Our speaker had a couple of R's, again, towards the second half of the speech alone, when she was concluding around that time. Our evaluator, Chitrakshi, again, only during her evaluation, she brought in a few R's and R's. And of course, there was the repetition here, otherwise no other repetition. Our speaker, Sanjay Jain, had a fabulous speech. However, because it was a little fast-paced, there were quite a few filler sounds and filler words, and slowing down the pace would considerably bring this count down. Toastmaster Sahil, well, a blank slate. Toastmaster Mamta, our speaker, had a few R's, again, only towards the conclusion. I think when she saw the red card is when it actually started to appear. Our table topic master today, the Toastmaster Bimpy, because she had a big chunk to speak, had a few R's and R's, but on the whole was really okay. Toastmaster Paduka, the first speaker, again, a couple of R's. Toastmaster Monica, or rather guest Monica, had one R. Toastmaster, guest Smriti Ranjan or Mr. Sahu had a couple of R's. Toastmaster Jacob, a couple of R's and one R. Guest Vanaja, one R, one R, but her Wangibat made me forget the rest. Toastmaster Samita, a couple of R's and one R. And Toastmaster Prabha and Thara, we've spoken of earlier. With that, I come to the end of my report and back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aparna, for the quick and comprehensive report. And let's try to ensure that we reduce the use of filler words from now onwards. I'd like to now call our grammarian for the day, DTM Tara, to please provide us his report.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator Sahana. So today, as a grammarian of the day, I had a field day. I will try to share my screen. Just a second. Unfortunately, word of the day was not used by anyone except me, and it was only when I was introducing the word I have used it, glom. Maybe we could use it in future. I saw some really good usage from the TMOD of the day: bittersweet, cook up, enriching. From Sahana, it was delectable aspects. Jyothi has used some words like nourish, body, mind, soul, subtle. Sanjana have used power-packed and cultural diversity. Sanjay Jain asked rhetorical questions like, are you a leader? And then he went on to answer that. Mamta have used really interesting words like obsolete, middle-class mango man. I think I'm going to use it in future. And foster. Sahil Sachdeva, brilliant usages throughout. Vehement debater, augment, crafting, potent, multitude, digestible. Paduka have used the word phrase eat to survive. Monica has used the word fitness freak, indigenous. Jacob has used that I want to up my exercise schedule, share, and so on and so forth. Some of the words and phrases that are worth mentioning was pearls of wisdom and doling out, used by our TMOD. Sourav, Jyothi have used the word energy, vibes, aura, and empathy, culture, customs. I really like this triplets of words. Chitrakshi have used the word phrase fearless like a trusted old jeep. Very interesting. Sahil has used the word phrase apple pie order, enchant, entertain, enlighten. Very interesting. Some of the usage that we could improve is when somebody said that really nice spoke, but it could be very eloquently spoken. One of the speaker, I have noticed that he was dropping the ends. He was finishing the sentence, but not ending it. Like, for example, I was reading leadership and I came. It just dead bit stopped there. Maybe you could consider writing the speech, memorizing it. So therefore, you don't really have to think on your feet when you are speaking in front of an audience. Also, the same speaker said, I said them. It should be, I told them. One of the speaker use the word something very frequently, and she said something that did X, something that did Y, something that did Z, but instead of, so these I find is some sort of a filler word. Instead we can just say that, you know, you could have done X, Y, Z. That would have made your speech sound more crisp. And the last one, which we could improve, is used to be in college days. It should be used to be in college. With that, I'm going to conclude my grammarian report for the day. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much, TTM Tara, for providing that comprehensive report and also providing us the list of places where we could improve. I am sure all of us would keep that in mind. Let's now call our listener, Toastmaster Prabha, to give her report.
Hello, am I audible? So, all right, listening test. Don't worry, it's not graded, but I'll be asking some super secret questions. So get your invisible listening caps on and prepare to amaze me with your answers. So this is to brush up a bit of GK and invoke the interest in financial literacy. One of our speakers mentioned, and I asked, the percentage of total population of US that invest in the stock market.
60.
61.
That's right, it's 61. Moving on to the next question, what are some of the skills that our Indian education system lack? And our speaker talked about 6 or 7, but I'm fine if we could remember 2 or 3.
Public speaking.
Financial,
Financial,
taxation,
stress management.
That's right.
Cooking and driving.
Exactly. One more. There's one more left.
Personal finance.
That's correct. What was the last skill that she mentioned, if somebody can remember?
Social ethics, I think.
Correct. Absolutely correct. Social etiquette. All right, moving on to the next question. Our first speaker spoke about the time when she went to yoga center. I want to know where this center was.
Rishikesh.
That's correct. And how long the training was for her?
1 month.
Correct. How many students were there?
80.
From 14 different countries.
No, how many students were there?
40.
Yes. I think Aparna is listening. Her listening cap is on from the beginning and super active. Yeah. So moving on to the next question. Our second speaker played a sport and was the captain of it and demonstrated leadership. Can you tell what the sport was?
Cricket.
Correct. Very correct. And this is the last question. Our DTM Sourav Dutta mentioned, MISHTI DOI symbolizes something in India. What that is?
Secularism.
Absolutely correct. With that, I am done with the questions, and I think everybody was listening properly and actively. Thank you so much. Over to you, TMOD.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Prabha, for your report and for keeping us quick on our feet. With that as the end of our Taggle team, and now is the time for my general evaluation of the meeting. Today's theme, MISHTI DOI, was absolutely delectable, and the meeting was just like that. It brought back so many memories. I'm a person who has a sweet tooth and who enjoys having desserts after every meal, and this meeting was the perfect post-breakfast dessert. Our speeches, Toastmaster Jyothi gave a beautiful perspective on yoga and cultural diversity. Toastmaster Sanjay awoke the leader in us with his powerful speech. And Toastmaster Mamta shed light on the faults of our education system and where we could learn and improve. Coming to our table topics, our table topic master, Toastmaster Bimpy, did an amazing job with all the intriguing topics which all the foodies and non-foodies could relate to. And let's have a round of applause to Diana for being an inspiration by doing so well with our table topic. Thank you so much, Diana, and you're an inspiration to all of us. Keep doing this fabulous job. Our evaluators did thank you so much. Thank you, and please continue to be a part of the meetings. Our Taggle team did a fantastic job. All the reports were quick, comprehensive, and something that all of us could learn from. Our speech evaluators used the perfect sandwich method to shed a light on the good and not so good parts and the places where the speakers could improve. This was a beautiful meeting, and I'm really honored to be a part of this. Thank you so much. That's it from my team and me. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day, DTM Sourav Dutta.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sahana. And can we have a big round of applause for the Taggle team and the general evaluator, please? I would now be conducting the polls, the remaining of the polls. And while we do that, we will continue our conversation. So as we speak, you have the auxiliary role takers poll on your screen. So why is MISHTI DOI? So Bengal is a land of sweets, right? And we have got a lot of sweets, sandesh, rasgulla, and chanar payesh and whatnot, right? But why is MISHTI DOI special? Because this is one dish, the closest I can think of is idli, where you don't need to really acquire a taste, right? You just like it. I mean, you have it, you like it. I've never found anyone who doesn't like idli. Some people have told me that they find idli boring. I find those people boring. But apart from that, I think there's nothing that you can have against idli, and there's nothing that you can have against MISHTI DOI, right? So it's probiotics, so that's why it's healthy. It's also can I request one of the co-hosts to launch the next poll, please? Thank you. And it's also it has got a very distinct flavor to it. Not only that, it is a variety also. So in fact, there is a particular type of MISHTI DOI in Navadvip in West Bengal, which is called Lal Dahi, right? And Lal Dahi is basically, it's actually pronounced Doi, okay? It's not Dahi. If you go by the exact pronunciation in Bengali, it's called Doi and not Dahi. So the Lal Doi is actually pretty red in color, and it's available only in one particular part of West Bengal, which is Navadvip. And people actually go to Navadvip to have MISHTI DOI. That's the kind of craze that is there around MISHTI DOI. So yes, and as far as Bangaloreans are concerned, or people in other cities, you can always find the closest variant in one of the packaged MISHTI DOIs that you get in the shops. In one of the shops, Big Basket has it. A lot of other grocery chains have it. So do try it, and I'm sure you will like it. And also keep on exploring various kind of foods that are there in the city that you live. They have their own flavors. They have their own. Something that I discovered recently is the bonda soup in Bangalore that you get only in Bangalore and nowhere else, right? And that is something that I would absolutely love to have more of And if I'm ever moving out of Bangalore, then bonda soup I will definitely never miss. I have stayed for a very long time in Bihar, worked in Bihar, and there is this special handi mutton that I have had at Dumka. And that's something that I can never forget, that handi mutton, and I've had mutton across the world, but then nothing that comes even close to the handi mutton. Or for example, litti chokha of Bihar. We have got, so many such dishes across this country, and each of these dishes have their own flavor. So whenever you're visiting somewhere, my earnest request to you is, and this is something that mostly for the Bengalis, I would say, see, Bengalis are very addicted to their food. Okay, so we are very obsessed with our food and with our culture. So we feel that a biryani without aloo is a pulao, right? And a biryani has to have an aloo. Without that, it's a pulao. So Hyderabad biryani is not a biryani for us, for most of the Bengalis. You can agree with us or disagree with us, but we are very sure about our stand. We are very passionate about Rasgulla, so much so we had a very long fight with Odisha on who's the actual inventor of Rasgulla, and finally Bengal won it. And we were crowned as the inventors of Rasgulla. But what I think we miss out on whenever we go to a new city, I have seen Bengalis, we have got many Facebook groups, right? So one of that is Bengalis in Bangalore. There are 60,000 people, and one of the most popular question is, where can I find Bengali food in Bangalore? And this is coming from someone who's staying in this city, right? So what I would say is that if you're visiting a place, don't try to look for your local cuisine. Look for the cuisine that is there, that's peculiar to that place, because you are never going to find that somewhere else so easily, unless you're very, very passionate about it. Like Samita is about MISHTI DOI, you'll have to go that extra miles. I would travel 70 kilometers to get that. So don't do that. Even when you're traveling outside of India, if you have been to Singapore, Kia butter toast is something that you should definitely try. You'll not find it anywhere else in the world. Kia butter toast with poached eggs in a cup. They give eggs in a cup. And there are so many such dishes across the world. So try local, because that's where the flavor is. And I will now hand over the stage to the area director of area B1, District 92, Toastmaster Paduka Kannan, for a quick 1 to 2 minutes observation on the meeting, Toastmaster Paduka, before I hand over to the presiding officer.
All right. Thank you very much, DTM Sourav Dutta. I was just typing on the chat that I'm completely distracted with the kind of speech you keep on uttering one again. But overall, I enjoyed this meeting. And you sort of made me to visualize the kind of sweets that we all wanted to eat as well. And I thoroughly enjoyed. I'm not just today, but of course, as Gabbys, as my home club as well. I've enjoyed all the meetings throughout. But for my detailed report, you have to see the AD's report later. With that, again.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Paduka. That was our area director, Toastmaster Paduka Kannan, area director, area B1, District 92. And we are proud to be a part of your area, Toastmaster Paduka, and a part of this Division B with a Division Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Nagesh Ramamurthy. With this, I would hand over the stage back to our presiding officer for announcing the results and closing the meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Dhwani Adesara.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. Can we have a huge round of applause for our Toastmaster of the Day? And I must say, I am very sad because today I am fasting and we are only talking about food. This is so unfair. But nevertheless, let's be a bit more cognizant of the fact about timing, and let me not rant any further. So with that, let me quickly talk about who won the best table topic speaker. So our best table topic speaker is a tie between two people today. It is none other than Toastmaster Jacob and Toastmaster Tara. With that, let's move on to the best evaluator. So the best evaluator award goes to Toastmaster Sahil. Moving on for the best auxiliary role taker. So the best auxiliary role taker goes to none other than Toastmaster Aparna, our counter for today. When it comes to prepared speeches, There were 2 speakers. There were 3, but then 2 qualified. And Toastmaster Jyothi is the winner for the best prepared speech. Lastly, the best role taker. Any guesses for the best role taker? Okay, it's none other than our Toastmaster of the day, DTM Sourav Dutta. We also have a very special poll today, which is called the most enthusiastic participant. And the poll only had Dina and rest everyone else. And guess what, Dina? We love you so much that nobody opted for rest anyone else. So that goes to you. Woohoo! So that's yes, you can have that. Perfect. Yes, I'll just go ahead now. With that, we've come to the end of our session, and thank you so much, everybody, for coming forward today and making this meeting just like MISHTI DOI, making it very sweet and amazing, like how everybody is. And I declare the meeting closed. For all the guests and any members who would want to network, the floor is open. We would love to hear your 2 cents about the meeting, and let's talk a bit if you wish to.
Thank you, Dhwani. I'll have to push off. I have got another meeting. I'm making you the host.
Okay.
You just end the meeting once people have left. Okay.
Feel free to share the MISHTI DOI, Sourav. Please do send it. You have our addresses.
Yeah, I know. But there's not enough stock of MISHTI DOI in Kagdaspur. I told you, no. That's the challenge. That's the challenge. The intent is already there, but the supply chain, that's actually disappointing me.
No worries.